maintenance screen. Once you come to that screen, the first thing that you have to decide is what cataloging format your new record should have. In your case, this would most probably be Mark 21, but besides Mark 21, you could also use other cataloging formats like Unimark or UKmark besides and in addition to your Mark 21 catalog records. So how do we now get new catalog records into LIBERO? Well, in LIBERO there are various ways to do so. Way number one would be to use templates. There is a number of templates that is already shipped with any LIBERO installation, but any library can add as many templates as they want or need. You could, for instance, create additional templates for various user groups or to catalog various media types. Just select your template and click on the Open button. These are the tags and subfields that have been laid down in that specific template. And now that they are displayed, you can start to override the existing dummy entries by double-clicking them and enter proper data. Just delete the tags and indicators or subfields that you do not need. This is a parameter, we come back to that later on. After you've finished all your entries, just click on the Save button and you created your first new catalog record. And immediately after creating the record, all entries will be indexed according to the parameters that you have set in your parameter module. Let's check for the title, for instance. Here we go. One click brings up the yellow browser box. Double click brings you to the stock maintenance, and here we are back to our Mark cataloging record. If you are a more experienced cataloger, you might find it easier not to work with templates, but to pick the relevant tags and subfields from the tag template on the right hand side. Create a new record, select your cataloging format, and all the tags that have been permitted in your parameter settings will be displayed on the right hand side of the screen. Position your cursor in the next free line and by using double clicks select the appropriate tag number and subfield. You can start entering your data. Select the next line, pick the next tag and subfield combination, carry on until you're ready, and then save your record as you did before. Of course, we must admit that the usage of templates or the manual entry via tag numbers and subfields is not very good and helpful because it's very slow. And as librarians are very practical people, they search for catalog records that are ready to import from various sources in the world. So how can we now import catalog records into LIBERO? Once again, there are various ways to do so. Basically, there are three different ways to import catalog records. Number one is the Z3950 search and import. Number two is the bulk import of data files. And number three is the single import of catalog records from external sources. Let's start with number three and see what this is. External sources means catalogs that are freely available on the internet, like for instance Amazon or Library of Congress or other catalogs that offer their data for free. You would search in the external source, select a record to be picked up, and then just import this into LIBERO by clicking this button. For the Z3950 import, you click on this button, select the target where you want to search, select the database in which you want to search, and enter one or more search criteria. After executing the search, the results will be displayed in the grid underneath and can then be imported into your catalog record. After the import, the catalog record can be edited and saved as usual. A very common and useful option to import records into LIBERO is the import of a data file. This means bulk import of several catalog records in one go. To be able to do so, you have to create a Mark 21 file first, for instance by downloading Mark 21 records from the Library of Congress online public access catalog. If you have such a record file on your machine, you can use the Import Data File button, make sure that the right header format is selected, and then pick the file out of your file system. Once you click on the Open button, you will see how the records will be imported, because they will rush through this window in a second. All data have been loaded, and now once you click on the OK button, all records will be listed on the left hand side of the window, and by clicking on one of them you can check the records if you want to. Now you have several options. You can either update all imported records in one go. Then all records are imported and indexed in your catalog immediately. But on the other hand, you can of course pick the records one by one and use this drop-down box to see which records are in the update queue. And now you can pick one of the records, maybe try to save that record, get some information about tags that are not allowed in your parameters, delete all the tags that are not allowed, and then update the record anyway. In addition to all the methods that I've shown to create or import catalog records into a LIBERO database, there are other methods existing in the LIBERO Manager module. These are, for instance, import methods like the general Mark format file import, which corresponds to a Mark 21 export, of course. We would, for instance, use the general Mark format file import to get you started with a LIBERO installation. If you're able to export your existing catalog records from your legacy system, we would use the catalog import, and after the catalog import we would of course add all other available information like item information, member information, circulation, holds, reservations, fines, whatever is available and applicable. Now that we have created catalog records by any means or by any ways, what other options do we have in the cataloging module? For instance, we first catalog a record and then add other information like maybe orders. Let's look at the order functionality.